What's going on, guys? Kaiser here from Kaiser Reveal, and today I'll be showing you guys how I manage my cables. Now, I hadn't planned on doing this because it's really nothing too different from what you guys have probably seen before, but a couple of you guys hit me up about it, so I decided to put together this mock setup from some old equipment and show you guys what I did. But before we get into that, I want to thank you guys for helping the channel reach 10,000 subs. Now, I know I don't upload as much as I should, but I definitely appreciate you guys sticking it out. But anyway, with that said, let's get to it.
You did to my heart. You touched my soul like a phantom, and you did it right from the start. Like nobody is watching what we're doing, like nobody is watching us, like nobody is judging while we're dancing. We're dancing till we get lost. We're dancing till we get lost. We're dancing till we get lost. Follow you, the only thing I want to do.
Alright, so I'm going to show you guys two methods that I use. One involves using cable raceways, and the other one is basically shipping tape. Now, obviously the shipping tape is going to be the most affordable method, but there are some drawbacks, but I'll get into that a bit later. Now, with this setup, I used a raceway, and you can see that here. Now, if you haven't purchased a desk yet, I'd highly recommend getting a setup similar to this with Alex drawers. And I say that because directly behind this drawer is my outlet. So I was able to place the drawer in front of the outlet, stick a surge protector to the drawer using 3M tape, route my power cable through the raceway, then behind the Alex drawer, and avoid that one visible power cable that usually sits in the middle of the desk, similar to this setup. So since I didn't use Alex drawers for this setup, I have this one visible power cable. So what I decided to do here was use a cable raceway to blend it in a little better. Now with this setup, I actually used the tape method to tape the cables to this part of the desk, but in the back. Now I did use a raceway underneath here because I drilled a hole through the top so that my keyboard cable could pass through. Alright, so for the first method, we'll be using shipping tape. The first thing that I do is tie the cables together. Now you can use tape, string, or whatever you have, but I'm using a tie. From here, I run the cables directly behind the stand using the tape to keep them in place, and because the tape is clear, you can't see it. After that, you're pretty much home free because from here, you simply run the cables along the desk and behind your PC. Now this is the most affordable way to do it, but it can also be a hassle if you need to run more cables later, and it can also damage your desk. Here you can see where the tape removed the paint, so you want to be careful using this method. The next method involves using a cable raceway. Now this is a two-part raceway that slides open and apart. It also has sticky tape on the back. We'll also be using this elbow that comes included in the pack. You can usually pick a setup of two for about 10 to 15 bucks. Now somehow I accidentally deleted part of this, but I drilled a hole in the bottom of the raceway so that the cable could pass through. Now you don't have to do this. Actually, you can run the cable along here and then back through here. Or you can use a shorter raceway and simply run the cable straight down and through. Alright, so this is what it looks like once I drilled the hole and ran the cables through. After that, you simply attach the elbow and then another raceway. Now I couldn't find the power cable for this PC, but you can run it straight down and into the raceway. Now obviously the raceway is going to give you the cleanest look, but in addition to that, you still have this flat surface to stick your LED lights to. Another handy supply that I use a lot is this double-sided 3M tape. I use this to mount my power strip to the back of my desk. Now for power strips, I usually use huge industrial style power strips because smaller ones like this usually have sockets that are too close together. And a lot of the plugs that I use are so big that they usually take up two of these sockets. Now I don't have one handy because they're currently in use, but I'll leave a link below so that you guys can see what they look like. But you can usually find these at any hardware store. Alright, so this is what it looks like from the front once you're done. Now like I said, you can find all of this stuff at your local hardware store, but I'll leave links below just in case you guys need to reference anything. Now obviously the most important thing is to make sure that you actually plan things out. So you'll want to make sure to take measurements and get a good idea of where you're going to position everything. Alright, so that's my cable management. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if this was helpful, be sure to hit that like button and definitely subscribe. So until next time, peace.